Hey guys, just wanted to recap today's squat workout at Bad Attitude Gym. Really pleased with today's progress. Was able to make it through without my back tightening up, which was the biggest goal going in. I am still building up a lot of strength, but basically, there's some video of this, but got some speed work in, so-called speed work. I look at it as practice for learning the groove of my squat, and it does feel good to just really plow through some of the squats. I'll show some video of that as I go through here. But after that, I did a little working up. I got up to 305 with a camber bar and about 80 pounds of chain. Really, the biggest key to avoiding my back tightening up was a couple of things. I think I got a little new insight into my back issue. I think I've just gotten to be a little too back dominant with my standing and really everything because I'll go into back spasms from just standing up incorrectly. So I think I've just the term I came up with was like kind of glutoplegic, where I'm just not really using my glutes to do much of any of my daily activities. And then you throw powerlifting on top of that, and you're really just loading them up. So I really wanted to train glutes today, and so a big part of that was just finding places in the workout that I could avoid. There was a few problems that I was able to identify and avoid aggravating my back. One was really focusing mind muscle connection on using the glutes with the squats. It avoids. I'm pretty good with sitting back. That's not an issue for me. I think I'd probably even overdo that, but for the speed squats, they felt great. I'll show some video of that here, but the squats just looked amazing from the video as far as anything I've done in gear recently. And they felt really good, and they did not get my back to spaz out. And I felt like I was really learning the groove of these briefs I'm using. There's some Titan briefs, and this is the best workout I think I've had since I came back to powerlifting. So did some speed squats. I think the bar weight was it's a 65-pound bar, but we just kind of counted as like 45 pounds. So I did I guess that's 245 plus 80 pounds of chain. That was an issue. Previous workouts doing some of this speed work is that my max is not high enough yet to warrant the amount of accommodating resistance that a lot of the other guys use. And so like it would be 50-60% bar weight, but then I would end up with over 90% because we're using 120 pounds of chain. And I just I was defeating the purpose of speed work. So one of the solutions this workout was to just go down, in each set we just added chain for the other guys, and then went back down for me. And I think that was a big key in avoiding this back fatigue spasm thing that I get into. After that, we did some light pulling. The other big issue in avoiding this back spasm throughout the workout was just quitting while I was ahead, just learning my limits and what I can do now. I think I've identified weak points, but did a little bit of deadlifting. Did 2 sets at 315 for sets of 5 in a sumo. One with briefs and one without. Went for a third, and I just didn't feel good with the amount of work that I had done at that point. I think it was just really requiring a lot of back, which is what I've been trying to avoid. And so cut it there at the second set at 315, and we did some accessories. We did a modified power squat. We hooked some bands to the hips, pulling us towards the back to the bottom of the power squat platform. I believe it's an Elite FTS model, so easy to see, I guess, what type it would be. I don't have any video of that, but did 2 orange bands to the back, and it was a good amount of band tension, but really forced on top of the weight we're using. We're using 2 plates per side. It really forced us to focus on throwing the hips and activating the glutes, which is, I think, the weak point I need to build up. And so did some near failure sets there for me, and then did some just 3 sets of leg extension, leg curl superset, and then we finished on some static ab work, just plate loaded planks on the ground. So standing on the toes and the elbows, and I did a 45 pound plate, and I think I was approaching a minute for 2 sets, and I'm gonna have that's gonna become a staple for me for the foreseeable future, because I think my abs are weak, and I think I've gotten to be where I'm pretty hunched forward a lot because of my hip tightness, and so I'm going to stay away from anything that's going to build the erectors even further, or I'm sorry, the hip flexors even further. So overall, workout I'm actually really happy about. Both in terms of how much weight was moved, but also my ability to avoid, I don't want to say injure myself, but to aggravate my chronic, body, aches and pains that everybody tends to deal with.